Okay, we're just going to jump right into it. Welcome to International Law and Organizations. This is going to be an amazing class, and we're just going to jump right into an interesting question. What's going on in the Middle East, and does international law and organizations like the United Nations play an important role? For example, does Israel have the right to attack Hamas and Hezbollah, that is the Gaza and then Lebanon, under Article 51 of the United Nations, right? The right to self defense. Is Israel committing war crimes? And are there other conventions we can take? Like, for example, there is a convention on certain conventional weapons that aren't supposed to be used, right? Because they're kind of cruel to combatants and they can harm children and other people, just like the explosion in the beepers. Was this an illegal attack? Or that is the ones that were targeting Hezbollah, because Hezbollah tried to use beepers. I mean, I remember beepers in like the 1990s. So it was kind of interesting that they were using it. So it's very, very interesting to start thinking about how we can apply both international organizations like the United Nations helping the refugees and international law. Is Israel protected under Article 51, the right to self-defense? Or is it committing war crimes? Does it rise to the level of genocide, these attacks? And most importantly, are there certain conventions, like the conventions of certain conventional weaponry, that Israel is a part of? Does that mean that the blowing up of the beepers was, from an international standpoint, illegal? We're going to see a lot of cases. A great paper would to do something on this would be very, very impressive. Are the Hamas attacks considered, terrorist attacks? Are the IDF considered terrorist attack? I mean, Hezbollah has been launching rockets. We're going to try to see and apply what we learn in international law to these cases. So I really want you to answer that question. How are we going to apply international law to these cases? So one of the things, the first discussion board, we're just going to jump right into it and ask ourselves, to what extent does Israel have rights to retaliation? And to what extent is Israel breaking, quote unquote, international law? Because in a world of anarchy, can we even apply international law? Is even a more interesting case. So I respect everyone's opinion. I'm really interested in reading your opinions. And I deeply, hope that, well, I hope deeply that you enjoy the class. And look behind me. That's a lobster, the poor lobster. We're going to get into illegal fishing and things like that. That's from Massachusetts, one of the best states in the country, but we'll talk about that later, where I'm from. So we'll talk to you later. And I'm very, very excited to see how you apply international law to this specific current topical case. Take care, everyone.